You know that moment when a game suddenly just clicks? When your team setup feels so strong you're steamrolling content like you've been playing this game for years? Well, that is exactly what you're going to have by the end of this video, which will cover how you can dominate early game progression with the most OP champion team in the game. This guide will cover how you can master these absolutely broken champion builds that are going to carry your entire account. Because right now, Kale and Sun Wukong together are hands down one of the strongest duos you can build as a new player, and probably the best foundation if you're looking to dominate every single piece of content in this game. And even in late game, these champions could still be the ones carrying your runs. We're going to cover the best builds, the best gear priorities, and tons of OP synergies and team compositions that'll take you from struggling with basic dungeons into an absolute powerhouse account that can demolish stage 20 plus content. And speaking of great teams, Raid Shadow Legends is partnering with Paramount to bring one of the craziest crossovers ever. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo show up in Raid Shadow Legends, I literally got goosebumps. Like, these are the exact same characters that had me glued to the TV every Saturday morning as a kid, and they absolutely nailed their designs from the original series. Leonardo's blue bandana and twin katanas, Raphael's rocking the sais, and they even added April and Shredder. But here's what gets me the most excited. These aren't just cosmetic additions. We're talking about full legendary champions with their own unique movesets. You can kick things off with Michelangelo. Just log in for 7 days starting August 21st and he's yours. And his kit is exactly what you'd expect from Mikey. This guy spreads debuffs all around, taunts enemies with literal trash talk, and then just dodges their attacks and doesn't have a care in the world. Then there's Donatello, and of course he's the support guy. Makes total sense, right? Donatello heals your allies and reduces cooldowns, because he's the tech genius who always has the solution to everyone's problems. Leonardo, Raphael, April, and Shredder, you can get through limited time events. I'm really curious to see what Leonardo's abilities look like, and whether Raphael's kit is going to be just pure aggression and damage. But here's where it gets really cool. You can actually challenge Shredder in his own event dungeon. And if you beat him, you get this exclusive chronophage gear set. The fact that they actually made each character's abilities match their personalities from the show is what makes this crossover work so well. And if you do collect all of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle champions, there's also going to be a special bonus reward waiting for you. This crossover runs from August 21st to November 13th, so you got plenty of time to collect the whole crew. You got to start by at least October 30th at the latest, or you might run out of time on the event. And if you're going to play the game, here's what 99% of players just miss. There are 5 legendary promo codes, and you can only pick one. This single decision will literally shape your entire early game and save you months of early game grinding. We're going to start with the best one. Monkey King gets you Sun Wukong, and this guy is absolutely broken. He steals all buffs from all enemies before attacking, then places block buffs so they can't rebuff themselves. His A1 also has a 75% chance to stun enemies that have buffs active, but the most insane part, his passive revive. 3 turns after death he comes back with 100% health and full turn meter. This makes him perfect for long boss fights and solo strategies. Get Alice gives you Alice the Wanderer, and she has this awesome ability to manipulate cooldowns. Her A2 increases enemy cooldowns by 2 turns and reduces their turn meter by 15%, or 30% if their cooldown gets maxed. You're not just delaying abilities, you're pushing them back in turn order. Her A3 ignores 20% defense, and if you kill the primary target, it automatically attacks their most vulnerable ally. Plus her passive deals bonus damage against enemies with skills on cooldown. Tree Hugger unlocks Greenwood and Rock from the Sylvan Watchers faction with that insane nature aesthetic. Honestly middle of the pack as legendaries go, but he's got unique taunt mechanics and his passive gives teammates shields when they take big hits, making him absolutely perfect for certain hard-hitting boss fights. Desert Queen gets you Tuhanarok from the Barbarians faction, and if you're into that fierce warrior aesthetic with battle scars and massive weapons, she brings versatility that works across all content types. She's honestly a bit disappointing for a Void level legendary because she's got these RNG heavy debuff spread mechanics that makes her pretty hit or miss. Demon Slayer gives you Tholin Foulbeard, and this guy's a boss killer. Each hit he deals decreases enemy attack by 5% while increasing his attack by 5%, stacking up to a whole 50% damage increase. His aesthetic is really nice too, not gonna lie. Now remember, download the game using the QR or link down below, and you'll only get 72 hours to redeem these promo codes. Feel free to pick any of them based on what you like about them, but in my opinion I'd recommend going for Monkey King Sun Wukong, because simply the combo of his buff stealing, defense ignore, and full revive passive makes him a one-man army, which is exactly why we decided to use him in this OP build guide. But before that, I got something to set you up for success. This is important because using my QR code or download link means you get tons of free stuff like the 2 epic champions Uugo and, when you hit level 15, you get Drake, 500k silver, 10 magic brews, a full day XP booster and energy refills for free. This can be a huge head start to the game that could be hours of grinding otherwise, and you're definitely going to have a great time at the game. Alright, back to the epic builds. Let's actually start with Kale first, because this champion is hands down the best decision you can make as a new player. This dude has been carrying accounts since day one, and he's still doing it in 2025. Kale's A1 gives you a 100% chance to land weak poison when fully booked, and guys, you absolutely want to put your rare skill tomes into this champion. Don't even hesitate. Rare tomes are way easier to come by than epic or legendary books, so there's literally no excuse not to fully book out your Kale. But here's where it gets really spicy. The A2, his Acid Rain. This thing is packing over 4 multipliers, which means serious damage on this AoE attack. Plus you get an extra 15% chance of landing crits, so technically you only need 85% crit rate to consistently hit crits. The real game changer is that turn meter boost. Every enemy you kill with Acid Rain fills Kale's turn meter by 25%. Kill 3 enemies? Boom. You've got 75% turn meter instantly. This is what makes Kale such an insane campaign farmer and arena nuker. He just keeps cycling his turns and steamrolling through waves. The A3 Disintegrate is 4 hits at random with a 50% chance each to land strong poison. When you combine strong poison from A3 with weak poison from A1, you're looking at absolutely ridiculous damage over time. But this requires accuracy, and lots of it. Your stat priorities on Kale should be crit rate first, accuracy second, then speed, then attack. For artifacts, I'm going Lifesteal, and this is where Kale becomes absolutely broken. Lifesteal lets us be super aggressive with gear choices. Attack percent chest, attack ring, and crit damage amulet because we don't need to worry about survivability. For masteries, we're going Helm Smasher as our tier 6 option. That chance to ignore defense is what's going to let you one-shot those tanky champions. The masteries you cannot skip are Ruthless Ambush. That's an 8% increased damage on the first hit, and when you're dealing 50 to 100k damage per hit, 8% is massive. Now, let's talk about Sun Wukong, and guys, this champion is an absolute game changer for new and mid-game players. Sun Wukong's A1 has a 25% chance to stun that jumps to 50% when booked, and here's the kicker. It goes up to 75% if the target has any buffs. In today's buff-heavy meta, you're looking at a 75% stun chance on his basic attack. That's absolutely insane. The A2 is where this champion really starts to shine. This thing ignores 50% defense on the initial hit, and if you kill the target, it hits all remaining enemies with surplus damage, also ignoring 50% defense. Plus, if the initial target survives, they get hit with a sheep debuff that cannot be blocked. The A3 is what makes Sun Wukong absolutely broken though. He steals all buffs from all enemies before attacking, then places block buffs for 2 turns. Let me put this in perspective. There's literally no other champion in the game that comes close to this level of buff control. That's game-breaking in the current meta. Between Kale's consistent damage and Sun Wukong's insane buff control, you've got a duo that can handle most content. But these two are just the foundation of what's going to be an absolutely unstoppable team. The reality is you don't need to build multiple different champions to keep switching out for different dungeon stages. You can instead just build one core team that can demolish 90% of the content you're facing. There are exactly 5 roles you need to fill. We've covered 2, Kale as your primary nuker, and Sun Wukong bringing crowd control and secondary damage. These 2 alone can absolutely steamroll the campaign, and even most arena matches. Now let's talk about the other 3. First, you need turn meter control and speed buffing. This champion goes first every single time. Diabolist from campaign stage 12 is your starting option, with speed buff and turn meter manipulation. Build her fast. Speed boots are also mandatory on her. After 30 days, you'll get High Cartoon, which is a straight upgrade for this same role. Next up, we need to have a defense down debuffing role. This takes your damage from good to absolutely ridiculous. War Maiden from campaign stage 9 has the strong version of decreased defense, and costs you nothing but time to farm. When I tell you this champion transforms your damage output, I'm not exaggerating. A third role would be a support and healer. They go last as your insurance policy. Valerie from campaign stage 1 is your go-to. Shields, heals, extends buffs, cleanses debuffs. Spirit Host from campaign stage 4 is another option, with that really strong 50% attack buff for 2 whole turns. So here's how you build up your turn order. Turn meter controller first at 200 plus speed minimum, defense down second, Sun Wukong third, Kale fourth, and healer last. Make your supports tanky because you want them surviving to revive your team. Gear priorities are crucial. Turn meter controllers need speed plus accuracy, 100 plus for stage 10 dungeons. Debuffers need the same. Sun Wukong needs speed, accuracy, crit rate, and crit damage. Kale needs 100% crit rate, then crit damage, attack, and speed. Supports need HP percent, defense, and resist. You don't need to take early champions to 60 immediately. War Maiden at 50 handles decreased defense for months. Kale should actually be your first level 60, and then maybe Sun Wukong. One final piece of advice, stop overthinking it. Build these 5 roles, gear them properly, and watch everything melt. Now, while you might have the greatest starter team going in Raid, there is an overwhelming amount of game mechanics and strategy that goes into this. This is why you need to watch this video next. You can go ahead and use my QR code or link in the description to download and play the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Raid right now.